Well, hello there, lads and ladies. Welcome finally back to another manga review. And today we are doing the ill-fated and weighted Komi-San Cannot Communicate, Volume 5. Now, with Volume 5 was pretty interesting actually because I literally just got done watching the first episode. Brilliant it was, of Komi Can't Communicate. I have to say it has been a very long time coming. I've really enjoyed it, and I honestly didn't think they'd be able to get the silent cues that you'd find in the manga onto the big screen, but they managed to do that somehow. It's absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to give a quick synopsis on the first episode. I'm not going to ruin anything. It's just small, subtle touches, basically. It kind of covers what I spoke about in the first episode of the manga, basically, where it kind of delves deeper into the whole communication disorder that Komi goes through, basically. And I'm sure there are a few people that also suffer with such said disorder, basically. It's kind of laughed at from time to time how, some people can be seen as like, either ignorant or just, overly shy in a certain sense, mainly due to this communication disorder. I can definitely say that I was probably one of these people at one point. I mean, it's something that can be fixed with certain attributes and certain bits of hard work thrown into it, basically, because the way I dealt with my shyness and my communication problems was through rugby. Like, when I was at school, I did rugby as a way of, like, getting my passion out, basically. I loved rugby so much that, I felt like a different person when I was playing. Obviously, I played fly half, number 10, basically, so whenever I had the opportunity, I had to control when to kick the ball, when to play the ball, and basically when to pass the ball off, basically. Obviously the scrum half passes it to the fly half and then he decides what to do with it, so on and so forth. So already I'm in a position of responsibility, so of course I need to have like that leader type attribute of being able to communicate properly to my team to get across what to do next for the try to come, basically. So yeah, rugby for me was my key to breaking through as an individual that I am today, basically. And it's thanks to rugby that I was able to do that. So that's why I always loved the sport, really, for what it is. But with Komi, in her case, it was more to do with Tadano. Tadano, obviously, if you'll remember, is the average chap who everyone is kind of like jealous of because he's sitting next to Komi at the beginning of the manga, basically, or the episode. In the first episode, basically, it just really drives home the silence that you experience in the episode, because in the manga, silent, you're just reading it, you can't like ascertain that silence. It's like when I watched A Silent Voice that one time. It was brilliant how it was able to get across the idea of this young deaf girl. If you don't know A Silent Voice, go read it, go watch it. It's a brilliant anime, brilliant manga. It's about a deaf girl that's bullied by this boy who doesn't quite understand, why she's not like speaking, or or why she can't hear in a certain sense. So he bullies her out of like misunderstanding. He obviously learns about those consequences that he's done to her, and he tries to apologize to her as he gets older. It's a very touching anime, and it's very good how it gets across the idea of even though that you have like a disability or you're deaf and dumb and so on and so forth, it doesn't mean you can't make friends, you can't live a normal life, basically. And hell, some people can even live fulfilling lives with these particular types of attributes with them, in a certain sense. It's the same with Komi. Like how they were able to like show the scene where Tadano and Komi were just on the board, on the chalkboard, just like writing away in complete silence. Just all you hear is like, it just puts it into perspective how really lonely Komi is, and the way she's very silent around people. It kind of gives us the idea of what it's like to be like Komi, in a certain sense, when it comes to like that silence, because that's her life, that's her way of communicating, by writing and drawing, in a certain sense. So obviously with Tadano's help, later on in the manga she does talk from time to time, and she actually gets to a point where she's very fluent, she's very good, and she's very confident, and it's because of Tadano. But anyway, in volume 5, sorry, I'm meant to be doing a review. Yes, first episode on the anime, fantastic, just beautiful. Go watch it on Crunchyroll when you get the chance. It's fantastic. It's a pretty good opener, and I really like the music to it as well. So, Volume 5, we are basically covering the emotion that Komi is feeling, which is akin to jealousy. That's mainly the first page, which is opened up, where Tadano is speaking to other girls. You know, he's finally gaining friends through, you know, Komi, basically, in a certain sense. And she feels a little bit jealous because he's not spending much time with her in a certain sense, but it's like a small little segment. I'm sure that will be brought up in later episodes and later volumes and so on and so forth. And later on, they basically do a maid cafe type deal, basically. And obviously, that's not going to go well for Komi because she obviously has a communication disorder. So I think they dressed her up in a very nice looking traditional Victorian style maid outfit, as you can see from the main picture here. There's actually a picture as well where she has glasses. And honestly, I don't like her with glasses because for some reason it just takes away from her facial features. Like there's this one specific picture. I like this because I just like the confused face that she shows with the wide eye, and even when they showed it in the anime, it looked so much better. Like I thought to myself, there's no way they're gonna get her mannerisms in the anime correct, but they somehow did it. I just have to thank the studio for whoever like did it to get it across the screen. It was fantastic how they did that. And yeah, I'm trying to find the picture where she has glasses on. It's like this one specific scene, and also Tadano is dressed up as a maid for some unknown reason. I don't know why that's the case. I think maybe he's done that to, I guess, consolidate or to support Komi in a certain sense. That's definitely a bro code thing right there that you'd like to have in a mate. Like, if a mate of yours is willing to dress up to, like, you know, comfort you or like save your skin in one way, shape, or form, then that's a true mate right there, really, because that's just something you wouldn't really expect to happen, really. Ah, yes, here it is. Yes, this picture right here where she's got kind of like a Velma, like, you know, Velma from Scooby-Doo, like those types of glasses. Although Velma's was more square, it's kind of like that, basically. It kind of like shows a little bit of class to her with this look. It's alright, it's just, her hair's nicely done. I kind of like how the hair is tied up with a braid that supports the back of the hair, basically. Although I kind of prefer like a ducktail on a girl. It looks much more lovely without having to do too much effort, basically, to the hair. It's pretty good, actually. Yeah, but most of the manga coverage for Volume 5 is mainly just that. It's mainly just her trying to get this one reviewer, like a reviewer or something, comes to the school for some reason to like try out a maid cafe. He basically goes around Japan reviewing and writing critiques on maid cafes and stuff like that. I've never actually gone to a maid cafe. I'd like to. Like, I'd honestly like to go back to Japan just to try out a maid cafe, just to see how good the service is, because I hear that it's actually top notch from certain people. So it would be nice to try and go and give that a go. But anyway, yeah, the chap comes in. He's not really thinking too much of the place, really. I mean, it's a school. It's like just, you know, the maid cafe thing's just put up for fun, basically. So he walks in, good service from some of the other students, so on and so forth. Then he meets Komi. Obviously, she's standing there with a grimace look on her face, even though it's just pure utter nervousness in her face. It's just brilliant how you see in her face she looks like dead straight at him. But inside, she's just like, what do I do, what do I do, what do I do, what do I do, what do I do? And then she spills a drink on the table, and she's trying to say sorry, but it comes across as her just like like she just looks dead at him, just not saying a word, but it just looks like she's looking down on him in a certain sense. That's what he's kind of taking from that situation. So he's thinking to himself, is this like one of those maid cafes where they do like weird role plays or something like that? You know, like how you have tsunderes, bakuderes, and you know, I can't remember the ones. What are the ones where they look down on you? I can't remember. Seido deres or something? I don't know. There's so many deres, but yeah, I can't quite remember. But yeah, most of the manga there is mainly to do with the maid cafe deal. And then it shows pictures on the back of Komi like in a band. Then there's one of her in a play as Cleopatra, I believe. And then there's one with her, and I think that's Akaji. I can't remember. Akaji. Why does that remind me of? I know his name's probably not Akaji, but it reminds me of an old film I used to watch. It's fantastic. It was Bedknobs and Broomsticks. A fantastic film. There was like this bit where the actress who plays the main lead in that, she's kind of like, she was trying to do a spell, and the spell, whatever she was pointing at, would turn into a rabbit basically, or she would like try to transmogrify it, but it would always turn into a rabbit because she was crap at the spell. So if I can remember, it was Filigree, Filigree, Apogee, Filigree, Afrigy, no, Filigree, Afrigy, Filigree, Pedigree. That's it. And when I just said Akaji, it just reminded me of that for some reason. But I think it's a Jimi or something like that. I can't quite remember. It's been quite a while since I've read the manga, really, and some characters' names kind of kind of elude me, basically. But yeah, so I thought I'd just get this episode up. Basically, I just get this volume up to remind you guys that, you know, Komi-San is still a thing, and the anime is out, and I really implore you to go and watch it, because this is really, really good. The animation style is beautiful, the voice acting is great, it's very funny. Surprisingly, I wasn't expecting it to be as funny for the first episode, but it was pretty good. Like, the comedic timing is there. And what I like about the episode, I'm mainly talking about the anime episode here rather than the book, it kind of jump cuts from certain scenes, kind of like how it would be in the manga, because in the manga, if you're reading one specific scene, it might not be in order. Like, they might show you a scene with them at the beach, but then they'll show you a scene of them like getting ready, so it's kind of like a precursor scene to what is done. That's normally done in most mangas, but the way Tomohito Oda does it is that they basically get the whole scene to flow within like the anime, basically. How you'd expect like a jump cut to be like, oh yeah, cut to black, cut to this scene. No, they like show a small scene of like what was it? It was like an Atari style like chibi version of Tadano or Komi, like how it's pixelated, and then that's their jump cut basically. It kind of like adds a nice little unique version to the jump cut without it being a jump cut. So it kind of like flows with the animation. It's very good. Basically, I can just sit here and praise the animation style for days, basically, with the new Komi-San series. But yeah, I'm really happy that this anime has finally come to light, really. It kind of really like opened my eyes to how, you know, shy of a person I used to be, really, and that's partly, you know, a good thing, really, because it shows how much I've grown as a person and how much, you know, I've put on the line for everything that I love and enjoy, really. And it's also a big thanks to you guys as well. You know, when I first started YouTube, I didn't know how far I'd take it, and I know I'm not as, you know, dedicated as most YouTubers are these days, really, but I can definitely say that I love and appreciate every single one of my subscribers and everyone who watches me, really. And if I do generally bring a little light to your day, then that's all I can really be thankful for. That, you know, I've made you smile and, you know, made you kind of look in a new light at certain things that I talk about. You know, we might not basically talk about the same things, we might not align, and we might have different statuses in life, but our integrity of all people stays the same. That's what I like hope to see with people, really, is that our integrity always stays the same, really, no matter who we meet as people. But yeah, that is volume 5 English. It always breaks apart when I'm ending the episode. It's like I don't ever want to say goodbye to you guys. That's volume 5 of Komi Can't Communicate. So I could have gone into the more smaller details of this book. It just mainly goes over Komi, like, finally, like, understanding her feelings, sort of, towards Tadano. Although it's, like, early days, basically. This is, like, her first, like, jitters of butterflies in her stomach as she's talking to Tadano, how it becomes easy, how she starts to notice, like, oh, it's very easy to talk to Tadano, where it's not with others, basically. And then there's, like, small little nuances of her growing as a person throughout the book, basically. So, I will come back and I will do volume 6. Maybe when the next episode releases, so that way I'm showing off a little bit of the volumes of the books, whilst also not showing too much when I talk about the second episode, because what I'm going to do is I'm not going to talk about too much detail with the anime like I didn't do with the manga, because obviously people want to see it and they'll want to watch it, and they'll take their views out on it through that way basically, rather than like you listening to me for like 15 minutes and onwards basically. You know, I do apologize for the long episodes. I just talk and ramble, and I just like to chat with you guys and keep things like free flowing basically. Some people have told me like, oh, you're annoying when you talk too much, and what I say? I just say fuck you. Just like, fuck off, I'm gonna talk and talk. That's what the job is as a YouTuber. Alright, but anyway, thank you all ever so much for watching another episode, and if you liked, please go and pick up another book of Komi Cannot Communicate by Tomohito Oda. Very good book, very good book. Definitely a good read. I think it's about, just under 185 pages, so it's a quick read. It's not gonna like take up most of your day. It's just a nice quick read to have when you're on a break, or when you're like at work and you just need to like chill for a little bit. It's a good little read. Alright, with that, thank you ever so much, lads and ladies, and have a wonderful, beautiful, fantastic day. Take care, my friends.